What if, tomorrow morning, we woke up with the ability to fly? Imagine looking out your window and seeing people soaring through the air, not in planes or helicopters, but with their own wings, effortlessly gliding above the streets. It's a fantastical thought, but one that could reshape our entire world. Our cities, our transportation, our very understanding of distance and accessibility would be overturned. The world as we know it would be no more. In its place would be a society grappling with the challenges and opportunities of a life lived in 3 dimensions. This is the promise and the peril of human flight, a world where the impossible becomes possible and where humanity must adapt to a reality beyond our wildest dreams. The implications are staggering. From the mundane aspects of our daily commute to the grand challenges of environmental sustainability and social equity, the ability to fly would touch every aspect of human existence. Imagine the freedom to explore the world from above, to see landscapes and terrains from a bird's eye view. Crossing oceans and mountains would no longer be a daunting task, but an exhilarating adventure. Communities would form in the skies, creating new social dynamics and interactions. We would have to adapt to new challenges like navigating through different weather conditions and ensuring safety in the skies. Emergency services would be revolutionized, with first responders reaching people in need faster than ever before. Leisure activities would take on a new dimension, with people enjoying the pure joy and exhilaration of flight. Nighttime flights would offer breathtaking views of illuminated cityscapes, a sight previously reserved for those in aircraft. Ultimately, the ability to fly could bring humanity closer together, uniting us in a shared experience that transcends borders and boundaries. A world transformed, where the sky is no longer the limit, but the beginning of a new era of human potential and connection. Imagine a world without traffic jams. No more rush hour, no more road rage, no more endless hours wasted behind the wheel. This is the utopian vision of a world where humans can fly. Commuting would become a breeze, literally. Instead of cars clogging up our roads, we'd navigate the skies, our wings carrying us swiftly and directly to our destinations. But this freedom of movement would come at a cost. Just as our roads became congested, so too would our skies. Air traffic control, already a complex and demanding job, would become exponentially more difficult. We'd need new rules, new technologies, and a whole new approach to managing the flow of people through the air. The skies would become a 3-dimensional highway, with all the challenges and potential dangers that entails. The ability to fly wouldn't just change how we get around, it would fundamentally alter the way we design and build our cities. Buildings wouldn't need to be bound by gravity. We could construct towering structures that reach for the clouds, connected by sky bridges and aerial walkways. Urban planning would take on a whole new dimension, literally. Architects would need to think vertically, designing buildings with multiple entry and exit points at various heights. Elevators, while still useful, would be supplemented by more efficient means of vertical transportation. Imagine stepping out of your apartment window and onto a sky park, a green oasis floating high above the bustling city below. This is the potential of a world where humans can fly. Cities would become more than just concrete jungles. They would be vibrant, 3-dimensional environments that embrace the sky as much as the ground. The ability to fly wouldn't just change our cities, it would revolutionize our entire economy. Entire industries would crumble, while others would soar to new heights. The automotive industry, for example, would face extinction with personal flight readily available. Who would need cars? Public transportation, too, would undergo a radical transformation. Buses and trains would become relics of the past, replaced by aerial trams and flying vehicles. But for every industry that falls, another would rise. We'd see a surge in demand for personal flight equipment, from wingsuits to jetpacks. Companies specializing in air traffic control, aerial infrastructure, and flight training would flourish. The world would need to adapt and quickly to the demands of a society that no longer relied on the ground for transportation. Section 5. The environmental price of flight. The environmental impact of human flight is a complex issue, one that intertwines technological advancements with ecological concerns. On the one hand, reducing our reliance on cars and trucks could significantly decrease our carbon footprint. This shift could lead to cleaner air, quieter cities, and a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. Imagine a world with fewer highways, fewer parking lots, and less dependence on fossil fuels. Urban landscapes could be transformed into green spaces, promoting biodiversity and improving the quality of life for city dwellers. However, this reduction in ground-based pollution could be offset by the environmental costs of personal flight. The energy required for personal flight devices could be substantial, and if not sourced sustainably, it could negate the benefits of reduced car usage. The technology used to power our wings, whether it's biomimicry or some form of advanced propulsion system, would need to be incredibly efficient and environmentally friendly to avoid exacerbating climate change. Renewable energy sources like wind and solar power would be crucial in this transition. Furthermore, the increased accessibility to remote areas could have unintended consequences for delicate ecosystems. Pristine environments that have remained untouched by human activity could suddenly become vulnerable to overexposure and exploitation. Imagine hordes of tourists descending from the sky, potentially disrupting wildlife and trampling fragile habitats. The influx of visitors could lead to pollution, habitat destruction, and a loss of biodiversity. The ability to fly would bring with it a responsibility to protect the environment, both on the ground and in the air. It would require a collective effort to ensure that our advancements do not come at the cost of the planet's health. Sustainable practices, conservation efforts, and a deep respect for nature would be essential in this new era of flight. Section 6. Taking to the skies. Sports and entertainment in a flying world. The world of sports would be forever changed by human flight. Imagine aerial races, where competitors soar through the air at breakneck speeds, navigating obstacle courses and performing death-defying stunts. Basketball would take on a whole new meaning, with players soaring for slam dunks that defy gravity. Football would become a game of aerial acrobatics, with quarterbacks throwing bombs from hundreds of feet in the air. Entertainment, too, would be revolutionized. Imagine Cirque du Soleil performances, where the artists are no longer bound by ropes and harnesses, but fly freely through the air, their movements a breathtaking spectacle of grace and athleticism. Concerts would become immersive experiences, with musicians and singers performing on stages suspended in mid-air, their voices echoing through the night sky. Section 7. The have-wings and the have-nots. The ability to fly, while seemingly utopian, could also exacerbate existing social inequalities. Would everyone have equal access to this newfound power, or would it be a privilege reserved for the wealthy and powerful? Imagine a world where the elite soar above the masses, living in luxurious, sky-high communities, while those without wings are left behind, earthbound and envious. The potential for a new form of social stratification is a very real concern. Furthermore, the regulation of personal flight would be a nightmare. How do you police a society where anyone can take to the skies? How do you prevent accidents, air rage incidents, and the potential for aerial crime? The legal and ethical implications of human flight are vast and complex. Section 8. The future of humanity, a bird's eye view. The ability to fly would be more than just a technological marvel. It would be a transformative event in human history. Imagine the exhilaration of soaring through the skies, feeling the wind rush past you and seeing the world from a completely new perspective. It would challenge our assumptions about the world, force us to rethink our values, and push the boundaries of our ingenuity. The very concept of distance and travel would be revolutionized, making the world feel smaller and more connected. Perhaps, over time, our bodies would even begin to adapt to this new way of life. Evolution might take a new turn, favoring traits that enhance our ability to navigate the skies. Our bones might become lighter, our muscles stronger, our lungs more efficient. We could develop a physique optimized for flight, much like birds have over millions of years. We might even develop new senses, like birds, to help us navigate the air. Imagine having an innate sense of direction, or the ability to detect changes in air pressure and wind currents. But the most profound changes would be societal. The way we interact with each other, the way we build our cities, and the way we perceive our environment would all undergo a radical transformation. The ability to fly would break down barriers, both physical and metaphorical. Borders would become less relevant, and the concept of personal space would expand to the skies. It would connect us in ways we never thought possible and open up a world of opportunities for exploration, innovation, and human connection. Imagine flying to a friend's house for a visit, or commuting to work by air, bypassing traffic and congestion. The future of humanity, if we could fly, would be a future written in the clouds. Our stories, our dreams, and our ambitions would all take on new dimensions. So, the next time you look up at the sky, imagine a world where you too could take flight. Picture yourself gliding effortlessly through the air, exploring new horizons and experiencing the ultimate freedom. What would you do with that freedom? Where would you go? The sky would no longer be the limit, it would be just the beginning. The possibilities, like the sky itself, are endless. The dream of flight has always been a part of human imagination, and perhaps one day it will become our reality.